Good morning. This is Daniel Yochanan Lee with Torah Restoration Ministries and Shabbat Shalom. The website is www.spiritandtorah.com. It's the weekly Sabbath, and it is day 6 of the Feast of Sukkot. Last night, as I brought in the Sabbath day, I spent it with some friends, and we had a really good time of fellowship. We were playing some of the songs like "Hark the Herald Angels Sing" and "O Holy Night." Great songs to sing during this time of the year, as Yahshua was born during the Feast of Sukkot. In fact, the manger that Miriam and Yosef went to, that's believed to be a Sukkot. A sukkah. So, anyway, that's a whole nother study. I have something very special to share with you on the Sabbath day. It's something that Yahweh revealed to me just a couple nights ago as I was just meditating on Him sitting in this lush paradise. I hope it blesses you as much as it blesses me and has blessed me. Again, as I've repeated many times throughout this week and all over my website, I do believe that Yom Teruah 2017 is the year that Yahshua will return for His bride. And I've always talked about how Yahweh has His thumbprint on everything. Now, I understand that the scriptures were not numbered until much later after they were written. That's fine. Yahweh has His thumbprint on everything. If you look at the first 5 books of the scriptures, the Torah, as we call it, and if you looked at the Gospels in the Brit Hadashah, or the New Covenant, the Renewed Covenant, there's something very special about the number 17. In Genesis 17, you have the covenant of circumcision, you have the promise of Isaac given to Abraham, and Abraham and Sarai get new names. Sarai gets Sarah, and Avram gets Abraham. Now, what happens in 2017 when Yahshua comes to redeem us? He will give us new names. That's according to the book of Revelation. The whole concept of circumcision is a shadow picture that points toward the resurrection, when we become ultimately circumcised with our brand new bodies. Hallelujah. So Genesis 17 is all about Yahshua's return. Now look at Exodus 17. This is where Moshe strikes the rock in obedience to Yahweh, and living waters gush out from the rock, and the Israelites are able to drink in the desert. And what happens when Yahshua returns in 2017? We read that there will be living waters that will gush out from Jerusalem, both to the east and to the west. So Exodus 17 is all about Yahshua's return in 2017. Look at Leviticus 17. Leviticus 17 is all about how all the sacrifices need to be brought to the tabernacle. You see, the Israelites were sacrificing in different fields and different places, and Yahweh said, no, I don't want this to happen. It's too easy to get off track and start sacrificing to other gods. All the sacrifices that anyone makes needs to be brought up to the priests at the tabernacle. Well, what will happen when Yahshua returns? He's going to restore the temple, and all the animal sacrifices will be done in Jerusalem, according to Zechariah chapter 14. Of course, these animal sacrifices won't replace the atonement that Yahshua has already made for us. They'll merely point back toward what Yahshua did as a memorial, and they'll also be used to praise Yahweh, such as the evening and morning oblation. Look at Numbers 17. This is where the priesthood is firmly established. There was murmuring going on in the nation of Israel, and Aaron's rod, of all the 12 rods, it alone buds and blossoms. And what will Yahshua do, according to Malachi 3, when He returns? He's going to purge and restore the Levitical priesthood. And in fact, He will be the high priest, not of the order of Leviticus, but of the Levitical priesthood, but of Melchizedek. And He will be the great high priest. So the priesthood will be established when He returns. And look at Deuteronomy 17. If you read in that passage, as you get toward the end, there's specific instructions for the king, what a king should do. And one of those instructions is that the king is supposed to record a book that contains all the commandments, all the instructions from the Torah. And this king is to meditate upon that Torah all the day, that he doesn't turn to the left or the right. And what will Yahshua do when He rules and reigns? He will cause the Torah to go forth from Zion. And so Deuteronomy 17 is all about Yahshua's return. All 5 books of the Torah point toward 2017. And then we have a second witness. Look in the New Testament, the Brit Hadashah, the renewed covenant, in the Gospels. Matthew 17. This is Yahshua's transfiguration. This completely points toward the resurrection when we all become like Yahshua, where we receive our renewed, resurrected bodies. Now, Mark doesn't have 17 chapters, but look at Luke 17. Luke 17, Yahshua specifically tells those who are listening to him that he will return as lightning flashes across the sky. He directly points toward his second return in Luke 17. In John chapter 17, it's Yahshua's prayer to his Father, where he prays that just as Yahshua and his Father are one, that all those who are in Messiah will also be one. What will happen when Yahshua returns? We will be one with him. Now, since Mark didn't have 17 chapters, I was curious to see if there would be another witness to the 3 Gospels that I mentioned. And lo and behold, in Acts chapter 17, it's preached by Paul that Yahshua will come to judge, and he preaches specifically about the resurrection. All of these chapters, 17, 17, 17, they all point toward 2017 when Yahshua will return. Well, I suppose you could call that coincidence, but as you continue to walk in the Ruach, and as you continue to get closer to Yahweh, you start to learn that there's no such thing as coincidence. In fact, even any good private detective will tell you that. Yahweh does have his thumbprint, and he's pointing toward a very specific time. I know there's been a lot of false prophets, and there's been a lot of people saying this and that, and pointing toward this and that, and there's a lot of distractions, and finally people just say, you know what, no one knows. Well, in fact, Yahweh is making it very clear to his bride. It's not just my ministry, by the way, that's pointing toward this. There are many other ministries out there that have been talking about 2017. Well, I hope you all have a very blessed Sabbath, a very blessed Shabbat Shalom on this 6th day of Sukkot. As you can see, very beautiful here along this trail that I've been hiking this morning. It's just gorgeous. 2 more days left of Sukkot, and I have a very special blessing for tomorrow, and then, of course, we'll wrap up on the 8th day. Yahweh bless you, and again, don't forget to check out the website at www.spiritandtorah.com. Shalom.